Holy One.
A great guy, and his videos are fantastic.
What's to do, YouTube? It's Holy One, and this is GEX Reviews. And I'm going to be reviewing Doom Eternal. So, let's start with the multiplayer portion of Doom Eternal. So, Doom Eternal's multiplayer is solid. Most people have been kind of downvoting it for some reason. Not like negatively, but as it's like, oh, you should be focusing on the single player. But the last Doom had multiplayer, and I figured I'd play this a little bit. It's not so bad. You know, it's a typical Doom arena shooter, similar to 2016. You know, you can take control of a demon if you need be when you're in the multiplayer. Overall, if you want to continue enjoying Doom's like high-octane gameplay, then definitely check out the multiplayer. I would give the multiplayer a solid 8 out of 10 easily, so don't pass up Doom's multiplayer. Now, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video, and that is the single-player portion of this game. When it comes to Doom's gameplay, they took 2016 and completely overhauled and refined it. Probably to some people I consider like a next generational leap in first-person shooter gameplay that we haven't seen this generation of consoles on PS4 or Xbox. Whereas like games like Halo 5 tried to implement copy and paste techniques from like Call of Duty or other games that have been trying to enact different methods of first-person shooters, whether it be Overwatch, even though Overwatch is overrated, stuff like that. But I feel like Doom 2016 was good in its own right, while sticking to its roots, but not revolutionizing the first-person shooter genre like Doom Eternal has done. Doom Eternal has added a lot more new mechanics, whether it's devices, this kind of semi-platforming, new ways to slash open the demons. In the last Doom, you could basically run through the entire game with your shotgun. That's not a negative, but that some people could do. In this game, you have to tactically think about which weapon you're going to use, whether an enemy's coming at you with a shield, like the Marauders, or an enemy shooting shockwaves at you from a distance, like the Slithering Demons. Or if an enemy's warping around you and buffing all the other demons, making you looking for them to hunt them down with a certain weapon. You can't just use your shotgun rocket launcher to kill them because they have a barrier protecting them while they summon and cast demons to constantly come after you until you take them out. Or if they've added buff totems, which buff enemies as well, they have also added stuff like that. So they've also added unlockables through the game, which makes going back and replaying each level really good. So you have to look for each item, whether it's a record player, certain items that will unlock buffs back in your main headquarters that's orbiting above Earth. There's also art books that you look through for the game. Each area can pretty much be seen like it's either a cracked wall, hidden behind a door you have to traverse to get to. And if you really want to max out your upgrades, you're going to have to find these power cells that are through the game. And what's cool is if you find the map, it pretty much will highlight it on the map no matter what difficulty you play it on. I played the game on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, which was, I feel like, the ideal way to play for me anyways. So yeah, that's definitely worth checking out if you guys want. If you're into getting collectibles and really want to spend 25 hours playing the game in enjoyment, beating it twice or anything like that, definitely get those collectibles. When it comes to different enemy types, they've definitely added new enemy types. As you guys can see, there's the brain-looking enemies. They've added enemies that'll spawn new enemies. They've also added the Marauders, which are the most annoying enemy in the game, which they're these fat freaks that summon shields to protect their fellow allies. The shields can be broken, but you have to deal significant damage to them in order to break the shields. When it comes to the game's length, it's definitely twice as long as Doom 2016, and you're definitely going to get your money's worth paying $60 for this title. It definitely earns it. Performance-wise, it runs great on anything. I ran the game on my 1660 Ti at 1080p and my Radeon 7. There seems to be some kind of glitch where the frame rate is low if you play it with the Steam overlay, so I would just suggest turning off the Steam overlay entirely in order to get the game to run at some higher FPS. Hopefully they can patch that out. And at this moment, as I'm speaking, HDR is not supported on AMD graphic cards. But if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, it'll run HDR no problem. And HDR in this game is great. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you because YouTube doesn't support HDR footage. So just enjoy the standard non-HDR footage. Now, when it comes to guns, as you guys can see, they've added a freeze bomb attack, a flamethrower. They've added the BFG, and the BFG now has a new form which can be an angelic BFG, which shoots lasers, which I did unlock as well. There's also your standard assault rifle, and the other 2016 game. So they've added about 3 new weapons, not many, but they've added new augmentations to the weapons, which gives them new abilities like grenade launchers, stuff like that. Now, the story, I'm going to keep it spoiler-free, but pretty much the story really takes off, like, mid to end game. So if you want to know, like, Doom Guy's background and stuff like that, you'll have to wait towards the end of the game to notice that. But it is interesting overall. So, overall, Doom Eternal's good. The OST is about as good as 2016's Doom. So, yeah, definitely on that. And the graphics are definitely a step up. So, id Tech 7 is definitely a new way for next gen. So hopefully developers will be able to look at Doom 2016 and see what they can do for first-person shooters next generation. Call of Duty, I'm looking at you. You guys need to revolutionize Call of Duty, not the same old stuff, just with jetpacks or something like that. Warzone is definitely still not a step up enough for me to get back into Call of Duty. So Doom is definitely, once again, revolutionizing the first-person shooter genre, just like they were doing back in the 90s. So this is my review of Doom Eternal, guys. I'm going to give Doom a beautiful 9 out of 10. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. The reason I gave it a 9 out of 10 is because I'm combining the review score of the multiplayer at an 8 and the campaign score of a 10. So roughly Doom is getting a solid 9 out of 10. But if you're just going into this looking at the single player only, it is an easy 10 out of 10. This is your boy, GEX, out.